very much, Dr. Chung. We are moving right along to our next speaker, please.
Good morning, Mr. Moderator, distinguished guests, teachers, and students. Topic for our debate today is, this House believes that the future of Hong Kong's people is best secured through real self-determination. Of course, we have to define, we got my learned friend over there. He tried to explain what is the real self-determination, but actually there is no such definition for real, because my learned friend over there already said that there is only two kinds of self-determination, which is the internal self-determination and the external one. So what is meant by internal self-determination? It refers to the selection of forms of government. In Hong Kong, there is no legal framework or legal application of such internal self-determination. It has been actualized under the principle of one country, two systems, and our right to the high degree of autonomy, which is protected under the Basic Law. The other kind is external self-determination, which is meant by the choices regarding the exercise of sovereignty and independent external relations. We believe that seeking of independent sovereignty of Hong Kong is a de facto secession movement, and therefore a majority vote on any unitary declaration on secession will not be recognized by international law. So both ideas stem from international law. But in the same time, when we are mentioning about self-determination, we have to note that territorial integrity, which is meant by the issue regarding border, is equally important in international law. So we cannot just look at self-determination without looking at the borders issue. All international instruments affirming the rights of self-determination also emphasize the principle of territorial integrity of countries and states. So my second point is whether self-determination applies in Hong Kong. Basic law never mentioned anything about the legality of self-determination. It is not recognized under laws in Hong Kong. There is no question of sovereignty of Hong Kong belongs to China after 1997, as stated in the Basic Law and Sino-British Joint Declaration. Of course, my friend over there always argued that even the Sino-British Joint Declaration may not be constitutional because it's not signed by us. But who can sign it, right? If it is not under between the government, between the CCP, between the mainland China and the British government, then who can sign it? We are only a region of China. The Basic Law preamble states that Hong Kong has been part of territory of China since ancient times. Also, in Basic Law Article 1, Hong Kong SAR is an inalienable part of the PRC. Therefore, any statements or advocacy that hints that self-determination which allude to independence breaches the provisions of Basic Law, it is illegal, which also undermines the overall ideas of one country, two systems. Of course, if I push it to the larger limits, the secession movement in China is deemed to be illegal according to Article 4 of the PRC Constitution. And we always have to uphold the core value of Hong Kong's society. What is the fundamental core value in Hong Kong? That is the rule of law. People in Hong Kong are bound by and protected under Basic Law, just like you and me. The law is there to facilitate the well-being of our society, and it empowers us the idea of one country, two system, and sets out our fundamental rights and liberties. What is the object of it? It enables the member of the society, first, to live dignified lives, second, to realize their ambitions as best as possible, which is you and my ambitions, and three, to achieve mutual respect between all those within the community. We are not talking about the identity here. What is the identity of one life, or ourselves or yourself? Or maybe it's just a sense of belonging. Maybe I'm a Canadian citizen, but I'm a Chinese. But what is your real underlying, what is your identity here? Whether you are Hong Kong people, whether you are a citizen, you are a Canadian citizen, or you are Hong Kong people, how do you define it? I believe that it's a sense of belongings. To realize these objects, it is necessary to have in place an infrastructure to ensure that these objects can be fulfilled. And it's unfounded to say that the basic law has to be rewritten because there is bugs. Where is the bugs? We have been using that for many years. If there is bugs, then why we are not going to challenge the basic law in the CFA, in the Court of Final Appeal? Why is not so? We have been practicing the common law for so many years. If you are saying that basic law has bugs, whether common law has bugs too? The third point I'm going through is that if we have the self-determination, if we have the independence, it will greatly damage our social and economy. As a logistics center and the world's gateway to China, Hong Kong relies heavily on the export of Chinese manufacturers. Inwards tourism and retail demands from the mainland is a significant earner for Hong Kong. Not only does Hong Kong lack resources from all aspects, it can have a detrimental effect on the future of the city. As my first speaker, Mrs. Ip, has already said that Hong Kong could fall due to the absence of a lack of international relations and our own army. That's not to mention the basic necessity that the Chinese have been providing Hong Kong with, for example, food, water. We will be facing a real risk, a very high risk of hostage by any one country over these basic necessities. Taking Singapore as an example, they need to diversify their water needs by developing desalination plants and turning the whole island to a water-catching area. Does Hong Kong have such kind of lands? Hong Kong has a denser population with less rainfall. So what can we do? Referring to Mrs. Ip, just now we said, there are more than 600 international trade agreements will have to be renegotiated, and diplomatic relations will have to be re-established with most of the world. How are we going to do it if we are going to seek independence? So are there any vacuum states in Hong Kong? What are we going to do? How are we going to live our lives? We no longer have a manufacturing base, and there will be nothing to trade. We will be isolated from the rest of the world. On a global scale, the role of Hong Kong as an international financial hub would have adverse effect to the city. And without international recognition, Hong Kong will be denied rights to international and regional organizations. Or even worse, the city will no longer be treated as an equal unit in the international ring. As a result, the upset of the balance of power in Asia will not serve the global community as its best interest. So I'm going through my last point. We're talking about us, about Hong Kong graduates and professionals who need opportunity and option. Hong Kong's geographic advantage as a launching pad to markets in Asia can be seen from its position as the world's 11th largest trading economy. Hong Kong is recognized by business people worldwide to be the best service platform through which inward investors can reap the benefits of the manufacturing powerhouse of the world. There are more than 4,000 overseas companies with businesses in the region, including mainland China, have chosen Hong Kong as the place for their regional headquarters or offices. There are more fast-growing companies also entering Hong Kong markets to look for their expansion. If our society is unstable, their regional headquarters will move away from Hong Kong, and this will greatly affect the employment rate and revenue of Hong Kong. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have talked about legal practicality and effects of the self-determination in Hong Kong. Through the reason we propose, the future of Hong Kong's people will be jeopardized through self-determination. Thank you.